Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to share this with you, and I have here my first 3 skeins of hand-dyed yarn, naturally hand-dyed yarn. I ordered Bare knitpicks swish and fingering merino. So these two are the swish. I haven't got the tag for them, but I will link them down below. They're worsted weight yarn, beautiful for chunky knit socks, hats, cowls, scarves. This is worsted weight is pretty much my all-time favorite yarn. I love to knit with it. It knits up quickly. It knits up a kind of not too thin, not too thick fabric, which is amazing for around the house socks, and also beautiful for a hat, for a scarf, like a lightweight scarf. They're very lightweight. You could knit a hat with, obviously not a yellow hat. Well, if you like yellow, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't wear a yellow hat. It just washes me out. But with one skein, you can knit a hat or 2 pairs of socks, or a pair of socks, so 2 socks. It's beautiful. I also have here a fingering weight, and this is merino and nylon, and I think it's 75 merino, 25% nylon, or 80% merino, 20 nylon. This is very good for socks as well, and a lot of patterns of Ravelry, they use this kind of yarn for socks. You would knit this with 4.5 millimeter, this maybe with 2.5, 3 millimeter needles. I haven't got any projects for these yet. Well, actually, I do have something in mind for this, which is a baby pinafore dress, or like a dungaree dress. But that's just, I've got the yarn, I've got the picture in my head, but then I haven't started anything, or I didn't even put down any notes about it. But maybe I will knit a dress, a baby dress for this. Now, where did this start? I've seen, ever since I started having my knit crate, and I can just show you, like for example, one of my knit crates. This is a Vidalana by Knit Crate Pimento, and this is a fingering weight superwash merino, silk and cashmere. Ever since I started working with hand-dyed yarns and beautiful merinos, and like gradient colors of yarn, I just I always hope that maybe one day, here's another one. This is last month's one. It's worsted weight and it's Vidalana as well. I wanted to give it a try, I really wanted to give it a try. And then I started watching some videos on YouTube with different ways to dye yarn. And I have to say, I don't really see myself using all those chemically dyes in order to dye wool. I know that you can't obtain strong colors from natural dye, so I decided to do some research for natural dyes, and I discovered this website, and this is I'm sure she doesn't mind me sharing her page on my channel, Rebecca Desnos, and she has a website, rebeccadesnos.com, and you can see her books. She's got books, an ebook and a paperback, and she talks, look, plants are magic. And I have to say, after reading, I bought this one, Botanical Color at Your Fingertips. I bought it as an ebook just because I wanted it that exact hour. So I have that on my tablet, and I've been reading through it, and I've been fascinated, and I just cannot believe how amazing this is. Well, I hope I'm not rambling too much, but let me just show you. She does talk about different dyes that you can obtain from barks or from roots or from leaves. The two that I've tried, avocado. So I've asked everyone to save me avocado pits and avocado skins, and I've only tried it with Hass avocado, because the other ones are the skins are green, so I think that would give more like a browny color to my dye. But this one, as you can see, I eat the avocado, I wash the pit, and I wash the skin inside with a brush, so all the green, I get rid of all the mushy avocado flesh, and then I let them dry, and this is like completely dry, and I just store them like that. The pit or the pip or the stone, whatever you want to call it, is not completely dry. It will keep drying, and it doesn't matter. I think you can use them fresh. I didn't. I only used them dry. But what I did, and I will film and show you more about it, but you just take water in your stainless steel pot and put like a couple of stones and a couple of skins. The more you use and the longer you boil it for, the deeper the color it will be. So I've done it twice. First I've done it with tap water, and I don't know if it was because of the tap water or because I didn't boil it like to the maximum, but this turned up a little bit lighter than the fingering weight, or it also might be the fiber that didn't suck all the color of the avocado. But these two are avocado, and as you can see, this has more like a sheen. This is more matte. This is darker than this. I don't know if it shows on camera. It's quite hard on camera. It kind of looks beige, but I promise you, it's kind of like a pink. It's like a light pink. I will try to take photos in daylight to see if it shows the exact color, but it's a dusty, beautiful pink. I think it will make such nice baby girl knits from these two, and from this one as well. I boil the water with the skins until I can see the color coming through, and I have to say it's incredible, because you start with obviously with water and these, and it starts becoming a little bit browny like tea, and then the longer you cook it, the like a deeper pink brown color starts to appear. And when you're happy with the color, then you soak your wool. So I just soaked mine in just plain water, and squeeze the water out, and then put it in your dye. And I cooked it, or it won't be cooking actually, I simmered it for an hour, and you'll be able to know when your wool is ready, because from that colorful water, your wool sucks all the color in, and then the water becomes clear, and then you know that once the water is clear, that your wool sucked in all the color that it was there. And it will look darker when it's wet and in the pot than when it dries. So you just squeeze the water out, rinse it a couple of times, and then use some wool wash to wash your wool, and then lay flat on like a clothing error. Lay flat and let it dry. And once in a while you want to flip it from one side to the other, and take the fibers out, take the fibers apart like that, so the wool will dry evenly and nice. And and this is what I ended up with, and I love it. It's so amazing. Unfortunately, I only have time at the weekend to do this because it's quite a long process, but I enjoyed it, and it's relaxing. Now let's move on to this beaut. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I've got an obsession with yellow lately. And of course I had to dye some yellow. I had to, you know, dye something yellow. And I had some turmeric, and I've seen this done on YouTube quite a bit. People dye yarn with turmeric, but with powdered turmeric. And I was thinking, okay, so you boil the turmeric powder with water, but then that powder is just, it might just stick to the wool, and I didn't want that. So I bought some turmeric. You know, you can buy it at the supermarket, and this is what it looks like inside. Can you see that color? It's orange. It's orange. I peeled it, I chopped it in pieces, and I boiled it until the color was orange. The water was this color. And I put my yarn in, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, my yarn is going to turn out orange. But it didn't. It turned out to be this beautiful, quite pale yellow. It's beautiful and it's lovely. And I did the same. I put my yarn in the dye, and I simmered it until the dye took in all the color from the water, and the water was clear. And I rinsed it a couple of times. Now I have to say, some of it came off. So even when I washed it with the wool wash, there was still a tiny hint of yellow in the water, which means, and I read about this, and everyone says the same, it will keep losing its color because of the way it is. So I don't know if adding mordant to it would do anything to keep the color like this throughout the garment's life. But even to start like this, and you know, it will fade slowly, maybe, I don't know, I'll try. But it's still beautiful and I love it. But yeah, that's my dye, my natural dye journey.